Hello again, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm all set to count down this week's 40 most played country records in the USA, compiled by MediaBase 24/7 for the week ending August 29th, 2026. Before I get started with this week's climb to number one, let's take a look back at last week's top three. Number three was Chevy Silverado by Bailey Zimmerman. Number two was Be By You by Luke Combs. And the number one song for the second week was I Can't Love You Anymore by Ella Langley and Morgan Wallen. Now, can they spend a third week on top? Only one way to find out. Let the countdown begin. Alright, here's the first of the 40 biggest hits, Brantley Gilbert, as he debuts at number 40 with his 14th top 40 hit. Good damn. His last appearance on the chart, you have to go back to July of 2023 when he reached number 33 with Heaven by Then. On with the countdown, here's Kacey Musgraves as she re-enters the countdown at number 39 with her 7th top 40 hit, Dry Spell. Her last solo appearance was back in the spring of 2019 when she reached number 34 with Rainbow. On to number 38, up 2 spots, here's Flatland Cavalry, their first hit called Never Coming Back. Up 2 to number 37, here's Jacob Hackworth and What Took You So Long. Up 1 to number 36, here's Cody Johnson with Horseback. Up 1 to number 35, Kevin Powers with Shabuzi and Move On. And here's the week's highest debuting song, coming in at number 34. It's the third top 40 hit for Co Wetzel. He's joined by Ella Langley on a tune called Jaded. And with 2 debuts and 1 re-entry, we say goodbye to 3 droppers. Falling out this week, What If We Don't, Straight for the Heart, and Hate How You Look. On with the countdown, here's Parker McCollum, up 2 to 33 with Killing Me. Up 2 to 32 this week, here's Megan Moroney and Medicine. At number 31, up 2, here's Shane Prophet with Long Live Country. In his 20th week on the chart, he climbs 1 to number 30. Chase Matthew went Holding It Down. Leaping 3 to number 29, here's Luke Combs and Rethink Some Things. Up a couple to number 28, here's Russell Dickerson with Worth Your While. At number 27, up a couple, here's Blake Shelton with Let Him In Anyway. Inching up 1 to number 26, here's Hudson Westbrook and Painted You Pretty. Up a notch to number 25, here's Graylin James and Water at a Wedding. At number 24 for the 6th week, here's Dustin Lynch and Easy to Love. At number 23 again this week, John Party with Boots Off. At number 22 again this week, here's Jelly Roll and Hands Up. Leaping 4 notches to number 21, here's Ella Langley and Lovin' Life Again. In their 28th week in the countdown, they spent another one at number 20. MacArthur by Hardy, Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, and Tim McGraw. For another week here at number 19, here's Dan and Shay with Say So. Leaping 3 spots to number 18, here's Riley Green with Think As You Drunk. At number 17 again this week, here's Zach John King with Get the Drinkin'. Up 2 spots to number 16, here's Lainey Wilson and John Mayer with Phone, Keys, Wallet. At number 15, up a notch, here's Zach Top with South of Sanity. At number 14 again this week, here's Lauren Elena with Chase Matthew with All My Exes. In just his 4th week in the countdown, he's up 2 to 13, Morgan Wallen and Ben By Now. At number 12, up a notch, here's Luke Bryan and Country and She Knows It. The 11th ranked country hit this week, up a notch, here's George Burge with Luke Bryan and Ride, Ride, Ride. Right, the first of the 10 biggest hits belongs to John Morgan as he climbs a notch to number 10, racking up his 2nd top 10 hit with Kid Myself. Back up 1 to number 9 with his recent number 1 hit, Morgan Wallen and Don't We. In at number 8 again this week, here's Jason Aldean's former number 1, Don't Tell On Me. At number 7 again this week, here's Kenny Chesney with Carry On. At number 6 again this week, here's Taylor Swift with I Knew It, I Knew You. Well, at number 5, down from number 1 last week, here's Ella Langley and Morgan Wallen called I Can't Love You Anymore. In at number 4 again this week, here's Kane Brown with Woman. Leaping 2 spots to number 3, it's Stella Lefty with Boston. The number 2 song for the 3rd week belongs to Luke Combs and Be By You. The number 1 song in country music this week, taking 36 weeks to get here, this becomes his 6th number 1 country hit. It's Bailey Zimmerman with Chevy Silverado. And that is our countdown of the 40 most played country hits for this week. Join me again next time. Once again, we'll count them down and we'll find out who's got the #1 country hit in the USA. Thank you for listening.